So this is my 1998 Harley Davidson Fatboy. It's the Evo motor, of course. This is my fourth Evo I think I've owned. I've had two, this is my third Fatboy. I've owned one Heritage, 95 Heritage, Softail. I really like the looks of them. They got the old school look. They did a really good job when they did the Heritage Softail to make it look like the old Hydroglide of the day. So when I bought this one, I've owned it for about 4 years now. I purposely bought it with the intentions of doing something cool with it, and I wanted to do my best to make it look like the 49 Hydroglide. That was my inspiration. I do not own a Panhead. That'd be my next one I'd probably buy if I do own another one. I've got 3 original paint shovel heads, and I've got my 07 twin cam. That's a Road King, made to look like a electric glide. That'll be a different video maybe someday. But everything I got, all the 5 bikes I got, they were either original paint, vintage, or I've done my best to make them look vintage, including this 98 Fatboy that I wanted to look like a 49 Hydroglide. Second year of the Panhead, first year of the Hydroglide. And when I bought this, I had a choice. I was considering putting a Springer front end on it and doing a 48 tribute, but you know, V-Twin sells them for about $1,000. I already had, this one already had a hydraulic front end on it. It was already there. So, and it's a little more comfortable ride, the Hydro versus the Springer. I've owned a couple Springers, and they're great looking, but the Hydros work a little better. Of course, that's why they advanced to that. So I get a lot of attention wherever I go with this bike. I'll walk around it as I'm talking here. I get a lot of good feedback and a lot of attention from this bike. It draws a crowd. And I don't care if you're new to bikes or you're old school. I mean, to the layman person, I get a lot of questions. How old is it? They're surprised to hear it's a 98. And then even the old school guys, I ride this to a lot of AMCA swap meets, was where I chase a lot of my parts. I collect a lot of parts. So over 4 years, it's turned into this. But anyway, when I ride to these swap meets, it draws a lot of attention, and I get a lot of good feedback. So I thought I'd share it in a video. And so my purpose when I bought this was to look like a 49 Panhead. So believe it or not, it's a 98 anniversary model Fatboy, bone stock when I bought it. The fender bib, I kept the fender bib because it's purposeful, and I need to fill that spot. And then there's the old decal around the ignition. It says 98 Fatboy. So a lot of people probably think it's sacrilegious for me to paint over an anniversary model, but it was there. You know, it wasn't really collectible to me. So it had low miles on it. I think 14,000 miles when I bought it, and it was bone stock. It had the solid wheels. Everything was bone stock, 100%, except for it had some long shot exhaust on it, which I wasn't going to run anyway. So I didn't have to take off a bunch of someone else's work and Band-Aids and chrome covers. And so I got to start fresh, and I got rid of the solid disc wheels. I got rid of that Fatboy fender, found me a Heritage fender for the right look. And it just slowly came together over about 2 years of me just chasing a bunch of parts. And I haven't done nothing this in a while, because I mean, I'm at a point now where I might just overdo it. You might think that way now, I don't know. But it's kind of, there ain't much more I can do. I mean, I could put a Springer front end on if I want to. I think it would look killer. But I don't know. I just have no desire to do that right now. But I'll go over a few things real quick that you may or may not. Some people, they gloss over, but if you know what you're looking at, some of the fine detail I did to it. I'll start from the front real quick. With the fender, it is a Heritage Softail fender. I put some, Art Deco trim on it, kind of. Now, I will point this out. A lot of people miss this. Couple, I don't know, 3 years ago, I wanted to get rid of it. Had Heritage on there, Heritage Softail, and I was trying to find. I tried to find that trim, and I found it, and it hid the holes really good, and I had to drill an extra hole, but it looks like it's supposed to be there. So a lot of people miss that, and Harley now on their newest retro bike they did, the Hydroglide. I noticed, I just now seen it for the first time in person, and they actually did this, which was a good look. I'm glad they did it. I'm not taking credit for it. I'm just saying it was cool. Speaking of that Hydroglide retro look they got on there, I think they did a good job with it, in my opinion, except for they could have did something more with the seat. Instead of being a rigid seat, they could have did a kind of a Springer seat like they did on their other retro bike, the Revival. And I'm not a big fan of them saddlebags they got on theirs. They're too new, they're hard, they're retro looking, they're too new. If they would have did something more like these bags, I understand why they didn't, but otherwise they did a pretty good job on that bike, but who am I to criticize? So anyway, couple things I'll go over besides that fender trim. Buco stars are untouchable. The real ones, these are just stamped steel that I found that make it look like Buco stars. Got some old 70s mud flaps with the jewels in them, front and back. I powder coated I found the tins black and the cowbells black and left the lowers the way they are, natural, give them the dirty look. I wasn't sure when I got rid of the solid disc wheels. I knew I wanted the black wheels spoked for that look, but I wasn't sure I was going to run white walls. I knew I was going to do Shinkos like they did back in the day. Those are real Goodyear speed grips, and I wasn't sure if I was going to run something like that, but that actually had the right look. Since I was running black rims and had red paint, I took a gamble that it would look decent, and now that they're dirty, they really fit the bike, so I kind of like it. I'll point out some of the fender trim. If you look, of course, the Panheads did not have a running light up here, so that's a chrome cover that actually, when I turn on, actually turns an amber lens. So it serves a purpose at night, so I can be seen better. But when running it during the day, it looks chrome like it's just a regular cover. I got this little, I call it a Mohawk light, but it had the right look. The fins aren't broken. It's kind of patinaed and it serves a purpose. But when you're not running it, it just looks like the regular fender trim they had. And of course the Panhead trim would not fit that fender. It's a different size. Otherwise I'd try to fabricate something, but that worked out pretty well. I got old 70s guide turn signals with the relocating bracket on there. Those are the real deal 70s. Got a 70s windshield. Got the bead around it, and it was already red, with the slider on it that fits over the nacelle usually. But it's got the right look, and I don't ride without a windshield or a fairing these days. I'm 57, and I got to have that wind off me, especially if I do a lot of riding. So I like the windshield. Looks good. Found an engine guard chrome on Marketplace, just powder coated that, and then I found the bag guards on Amazon, believe it or not. If you look real closely, you got the spark plug holder. Normally it ran on the legs in the back, I guess, on a hardtail, but it fit there pretty good, and it serves a purpose. It does have spark plugs in it. Found the round floorboards. I originally had the rigid ones on here, just the mats, but I found some isolators because it takes a lot of the vibration out, because I do ride it a lot. 2-in-1 custom chrome, I believe, exhaust, a 2-in-1 exhaust header. And then I found this slip-on fishtail muffler. It looks like a Buco. I don't think it is. I can't find Buco on it, but it had the right look and it sounds killer on this bike. You'll notice too, I do have a kickstart on it, which is functional. I love the look of it, but it just so happens that it works. I mean, I didn't buy it just for the looks. It actually does work. It has the stock five-speed transmission on it from Harley. I made this little boot guard from a heat shield. It served a purpose. I was sick and tired of burning my boot. Kind of got the idea from this old heat shield, which Buco makes one, and they're untouchable. This is just an aftermarket one. I found it at a swap meet and bead blasted it. The real one's got the real steel clamp on it, and it's got 2 holes here for adjustment. Obviously, it's not the real deal, but hell, those are a couple $100. And anyway, so it's got the right look on it with the ribbed slinky heat shields on the 2 and the 1. Got the points cover from the shovel head. They fit there really good. I like this. I really like this air cleaner cover. It's the real deal. It's got the right look. It's not perfect, but someone had drilled some speed holes in it, and it's got the right look. It's really cool, so it made it on there. If you look at the badge, these are 47 through 50 tank badge. Now, at a glance, you'll ask if they're real. Even the old school guys been around know they're not real. But at a glance, you'll ask, because the repop ones are they're black painted here. The real ones from 47 to 50, this little hyphen dash here actually runs past the circle, actually runs into the ring. So that's how you'll know if it's real or not. And usually this will be painted black if it's a repop. But I bead blasted these brand new and then just painted them real rough red to make it look like that. So I did my best to try to, I've looked at a lot of panheads. I go to a lot of swap meets. I really love the panhead. I may own one day. If I had another bike to buy, my next one would be a panhead. But for now, this is reliable. It's comfortable, and you know, you don't see these every day. When's the last time you've seen a 98 Fatboy and look like this? So I've seen a couple of people do it, and they do a good job with it, with the Springer, and I've seen a couple of real nice ones done upright. But anyway, this one I just really wanted to look old. Don't even wash it. Just kind of scuffed up the paint a little bit. The seat is a real Harley Davidson knucklehead panhead police seat. It's got the right look. I got this from a really good friend. Someone had cut off the seat, or the skirt, the fender skirt that had the spheres on it. It's got an E stamped on the bottom of it, which I believe E is for police. So it is a real deal seat. I originally bought this seat. When I bought it, I had it in mind for my 72, because if you look at my 72, it's original paint, but this seat is what's on my 72. It's got a lot of character. It's ripped, but it's soft, it's pliable, the stuffing's not coming, or the material's not coming out. It's missing the skirt too a little bit, but it has the right look for this bike. If you look at the bike, this was a barn find. This was literally pulled out of a barn too. So I bought it for this bike, but that one still runs good. So until I need it, it's gonna stay on there. And I believe this one's gonna stay on here. So that has a really good look. Of course, I got springs on it. I didn't buy they do sell a little pogo stick, hydraulic thing, but that's got the right look. So that's the way that stayed. If you notice the bags, so the bags are, they're not real, but they're about as close as you can get. So Wayne from Heather's Leather, he made these bags. He makes these bags. He also makes seats. He does a couple other leather stuff too. But I was familiar with Wayne. I go to a lot of swap meets. He's at all the big ones, and I wanted a set of bags. I originally wanted the black leather bags with the red piping. I thought it would have made this bike look killer. So when I called him, he was just returning from Daytona Bike Week, where he goes and sells all his stuff. And I was trying to get the black ones, and he said, you're about 6 months out on ordering those. I got to make them. He says, but I have a yellow pair with red or white piping. And I said, I got a red pair with white piping on it. And red piqued my interest. I said, well, my bike's red. It was already painted red. I said, what do you want for them? And basically, he gave me a discount on them because they were already on the shelf. And he brought them back from Daytona. No one bought them. So I still paid about $900 for them bags. But, man, they're beautiful. He does an amazing job with them. He also, this is my 71 original Sparkling America. But he also, this is a real, he actually did the seat for me. He used my old spears out of a fender skirt I had. And this is a real Harley Davidson seat pan, but he covered this. And if you look at it, and if you look at the rest of the bike, I'm just giving him a shout out because he does excellent work. And I told him his head looked like it had 4,000 miles on it, but not rode a lot. So he scuffed it up and weathered it up, and it's comfortable and it's perfect. So Wayne's awesome. If you ever need him, look him up. But anyway, so real quick, if you look from the side, it came with the brackets. Now looking from the side, it looks like they serve a purpose. They're on the bag, but literally they're just trim. They're just for looks. They came with the bag in case you were going to mount them, because they were actually bolted to the bag, so you can mount them to a real hardtail. I took them off and they were just sitting around, so I added some jewels that I get from Greg Lou from all the swap meets, Red Fox, and it turned out great, even though it's just aesthetically, but it looks like it's supposed to be there. So of course I got the old luggage rack that they had back in the day for the older bikes. It serves a purpose. My overnight bag there turns into a backrest, and I can travel with it. Once again, I got the guide lights from the shovel head. Tombstone light, which should have been on there. Once again, I got the early 70s mud flaps with the jewels in them. And then sergeant stripes. I put these sergeant stripes on there. After looking at these bikes for a long time, I noticed this could have used some sergeant stripes. So basically that's just door trim from AutoZone, chrome door trim. There's 3M tape on it. So it turned out killer. And then of course, these lights, they're running lights and turn signals. So I want to be seen, and they turn out. It turned out killer. So I'll go to the other side of the B side of the bike. If you'll notice, I converted this to chain drive. Like I said, it was bone stock when I bought it, but upon inspection and changing out the wheels, I noticed that the belt was ripped a little bit. Now, I could have gambled with it and ran with it. I had a couple of choices. I could have changed the belt out to a new belt, which you know what you have to do to go through that. Or for one time only, I can change out to a secondary chain drive. And I wanted that look anyway. So, I know the belt lasts longer. I know it's, less maintenance and it's quieter. But a chain's not going to leave me on the side of the road if it breaks. So I went chain, and it's got the right look. And after 20,000 miles, I'll put a new chain on it. I can do that anywhere. Got the old Dirty Bird cover, clutch cover on the primary. Drilled out the inspection chain tensioner window there, and put on a shovel head passenger foot peg for a different riding position. It does have a foot clutch and a hand shift, frame mounted, like it's a police shifter. And I found me an old truck shifter knob, had the right look on it, and it was white. So I like the white accents with the red. It looked really good. And then heading to the front here, one of the first things I found for this bike at a little consignment shop was a $5 mirror. And I love this mirror, and I said it had to go on here. It had the right look. And then it was about a year later, I found its brother without the decal. Same look and all. So the one thing I have not done since I've owned this bike is I have not washed this bike. If you look, it's crusty. I mean, it's starting, if I cleaned this chrome up and detailed it, it would bounce all back. But rain, bugs, whatever, I mean, I do not wash it. I don't want to. First of all, I don't like washing bikes. I'd rather ride them. I know that's cliche, but that's true. I don't get anxiety if it's gonna rain. If it rains, I get wet. And the bike, I'm not gonna clean it anyway. I want it to look older. So, you know, if there was grease or oil to come off of it, I just let it fly and run with it. So, maybe someday I'll patina, get some chemical and patina the actual chrome, but there's no need to right now. So, I think that's about it. If you're looking at it, this is my 1998 Harley Davidson Fatboy that I did my best to look like a 49 Hydroglide. And it's fun to ride, it's comfortable. I get a lot of reaction and a lot of good feedback. I thought I'd share it here. Real quickly, that's the rest of my collection. I got a 71 original paint, 72 original paint. There's an 80 FLT original paint, all 100% original. Everyone thought these were ugly back in the day because of the tanks, and they weren't split tank FLHs, but that's a comfortable bike, and it's 100% original paint. I'll give you a good look at those. And I got a video of that 71 on YouTube. It's the first video I ever did, and I get a lot of feedback on this one, so I just wanted to show this bike off. And then maybe I'm gonna do a video eventually of my Road King that I did my best to make it look like a 71, like an Electroglide. So that might be my next video if I do one. But you know, everything I got is either vintage or made to look vintage. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day.